let's make sure we... Uh, uh, yeah. All right. I know that people like to watch this stuff, so let's see if we can get some interested takers in this. Yeah, today we are opening this Modern Horizons 2 pre-release kit. So, I have a few boosters of this in here that I am using to build a sealed deck for another sealed league that I'm going to do over webcam. So, we'll give it a minute or two and see if anyone wants to show up. But otherwise, this shouldn't be too long. I'm not anticipating it's going to take all night. And maybe, I don't know what's going to happen afterwards. So, yeah, it is that guy with the fish. It's C'était moi. Hi, Doc. Alright, so let's go. I might have to move this thing out a little bit. My table is over this direction, this way. So when I'm leaning over here, you probably like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I have to move this so that you can kind of see where I'm at here. Move this closer without making this look terrible. There we go. Beautiful. There we go. Yeah. So in here, what I do know is that my promo for this is this search the premises. That I did check to see what this one is going to be. Hopefully autofocus is not going to fail me here. There we go. I think this card's actually really good for Commander, but probably, I don't know if it's going to be super useful for this, but there we go. That's what we're working with. And yeah, we have the white die for this one. I have to build a deck out of whatever we get here. Yeah, I pulled the die. I know. That's the super rare one, isn't it? Alright, I think this just comes with a bunch of tokens, right? So yeah. So there, yeah, again, the search the premises. It's really good in Commander. If you're playing a white deck, you probably need this. You get to draw a card like basically anytime someone attacks you back because it investigates. Yeah, it just gives you a bunch of tokens for whatever. I like that they dual-sided them for this. That does make it kind of helpful. So, all right. I just throw these on my desk, I guess. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a sealed on the MTG at Home Discord. I did one with Modern Horizons 1, and we're going to be doing another one with Modern Horizons 2 sometime in the near future, but it's open to anybody else who's interested in joining. So, but I got one of these to do with this, so we'll see what we get out of here and see if we can make a half decent deck. Okay. All right. What do we got? This. Yeah, whatever. We'll show this. There's the whale. Blah. I like the Pegasus. Alright, Bone Shards, that's an old frame. Mind Collapse, old frame. Camancer, Abundant Harvest. Ripley Vance. The Vendrill's Disc. And then Brightest Apprentice, okay. 2 rares. There we go. We got Shiny Whale. We'll sort these then in a minute. But for the time being, I like keeping all of the rares and whatnot separate so I can see what I have to build around. Alright. I would like a monkey. I mean, yeah, definitely give me monkey. Alright, let's see. Jewel-Dyed Cobra. Yep. It's one of the sketch ones. Alright. Counterspell, Verdant Commands. Oh, that's the squirrel one. Here. This actually does a lot of really useful things. Come on, autofocus. Don't screw with me today. There we go. 2/1/1 taps green squirrel tokens, counters a loyalty ability, exiles a card who gains 3 life, and you get to choose 2. So, I mean, probably making like 2 squirrels most of the time, and then whatever other mode is most relevant. Alright. Let's see, come on. There's Unholy Heat, that card's gonna be good. Harmonic Prodigy, okay. Yeah, that card's been seeing a lot of play in Arena. This Shaman deck loves it. It's kind of weird that it itself is not a Shaman, but I guess maybe they didn't want to make it a Shaman so that it didn't like trigger off infinite times of itself. If you had like 2 of them in play and something triggers, they'll both like trigger infinitely if they were both Shamans, I guess. Alright. Let's go. Oh, there we go. That's a Chatterstorm old frame. Oh, Glimmer Baron. Dothy Voidwalker. Alright, that's cool. I like that card. And then we got a shiny Arcbound Wealth. We have 2 more. Come on, I would like a nice big hit off of this. What's up, JLT? I'm trying to see if we can get anything cool. Because I'm building a sealed deck with this stuff, so I have to see if we can find some good enough cards out of these. The good old Ornithopter of Paradise. Oh, Galvanic Relay, that's old frame. Prophetic Titan, that's old, or that's the sketch one. Upheaval, and yeah, Metal Cyst. So this card is it's good in an artifact deck. All right, well, we did get a foil of this Razor Bridge. This actually looks really nice, shiny. There we go. So, all right, come on, we have 1 more pack. I would like a monkey or something out of this. A 1-drop colorless dork that taps for any color. That would be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? Alright. Let's go. Yeah. Foundry Helix. Vile Entomber. That one's old frame. Oh yeah, that card's actually really cool. Sanctifier and Becca. Oh, I mean, the card is at least playable, but I don't think any of these ones are, like, particularly expensive as far as I know. Alright, so there's that. Alright, let's take a look and see, like, what all we can actually do with these now. Look at what we have in each color. You know what? I am going to turn autofocus off here. And I think I can zoom this in here. Oh yeah, yeah, I can. Aha. See? There we go. This works. Yeah, more reasons not to buy draft packs, huh? Opened 30 of them and didn't get a single fetch. I had one. I got an arid mesa in my, um, yeah, in my in store pre-release. So, but yeah, I haven't opened a whole lot of this. All right, that's probably about as good as it's gonna get. There we go. Better than nothing, I suppose. That doesn't look too bad. We can kind of read these. I have to figure out how to build a deck out of this stuff now. So first thing I always do is just sort them by color, get an idea of what all we have here. Our polls are kind of all over the place color wise. So that doesn't particularly help. You know what I've noticed? These cards don't feel right. They like I can't explain it, but they don't have the right feel of a magic card, and it bothers me. I do have a fair bit of red removals. A lot of these lands, so whatever color we go with, hopefully we have some good color fixings. Wondering if we can build some kind of artifact deck to take advantage of some of this stuff. Counterspell. Archimancer, Abundant Harvest. Fighting Grace. There's Ripley. It's and the Whale and the Hermit. He's the the Hermit is a color shifted version of the original like Theros devotion guy who made like 1/1 soldiers. I mean, they're definitely not fake because I opened them out of packs and they were not like unsealed or anything. So, but they don't feel right. Yeah, that there's, I don't know if I can explain how they don't have the classic Magic feel to them. So, all right, take it easy, Doc. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out how to build a deck with this nonsense now. So, let's see. As far as lands go, oops. We get 2 black green. I mean, maybe like we have enough mana fixing for like a really easy Sultai deck. Uh, it's worth keeping in mind. But unfortunately, I think all the artifact stuff is like what white and red for the most part. So I don't know how helpful that is. Do you have any like good cards in these colors? Uh, Combine Chrysalis. Sacrifice a token and turn something into a 4/4 green beast token. This is some ramp in these colors. Yeah, I don't know. I guess this ploy, what, draw 2 cards and discard a card, and then you gain life equal to the number of cards you discard. So it's like the first time you draw 2, discard 1, and then you gain 1 life, and then when you jumpstart it, Um, you discard the jumpstart, so you'll basically draw two, discard two, and then gain two life the second time. All right. All right. Let's Ornithopter Paradise. We have the Sojourner's Companion. That's kind of nice. We have a bunch of artifacts to make it work, and probably whatever deck we're gonna play with it. So it might be okay. What's up, Paintball Demon? Yeah, well, we have a couple. Well, we did open at least one Shatterstorm. So yeah, yeah, we actually got both of them. They're right here. Good old Affinity and Storm. You know what? I guess I could put these with their respective piles. Titan, I don't know, but I don't know if we're gonna actually use that. The Mind Collapse. It's your turn. You can sacrifice it. Well, this is really good removal because it deals 5 damage to a creature with Planeswalker, and the fact that you can just sack a mountain to play is really fun. Let's see, what else do we got here? So if you want to see quick, Sanctifier and Beck, Nettle Cyst, Upheaval, Doffy Voidwalker, Harmonic Prodigy, Verdant Command, Navinral's Disc, Freya's Apprentice, and Search the Chronicist. Those were all the rares that we opened up, so now it's time to figure out how to combine them to build a deck that works. Slide these right over here. What, like 3 of these whales? They have affinity for artifacts. You know what? Maybe we could make that work, right? Because we do have like these Tangle bridge pools. We have a 1 power depot. It's definitely possible that like we could just place some kind of affinity deck. Right, let's figure out creatures and spells. Mental Journey, draw 3 cards. It's awesome land cycling. So shiny. Yeah, that card actually is. It's blue removal, which is nice. Step through is wizard cycling, but it's also like 5 mana. I don't know if we're gonna use it. The counter spell's fine. And the Scuttle Tide's actually not bad. So lets you turn a card that you draw into a 0/3 crab. And if you have Delirium, then all the stuff gets bigger. Which, getting Delirium might not be that bad. If you can get like creature, land, artifact, and then like an instant. We can get land artifact by discarding one of those things, so it's possible. The whales definitely could be a payoff card for if we go with a blue artifact route. Sea Drake is a 4/3 for 3 with flying, but you also have to return 2 lands, so I don't know about that. Area List is really good because it makes a treasure token. It's a 3/1, so not terrible. Like we have a couple flying creatures in blue that like could make blue work. Let's see, what about green? What do we got going on in these colors? almost everything is a creature here. So, Fey Offering. If you cast both a creature and non-creature spell this turn, you get to create a food, a clue, and a treasure. I don't know how hard that would be to do, but definitely there's some payoff to it. So, probably like I don't know if I have enough stuff to make like a decent enough storm kind of deck for that. Swiftness. Strider makes 2 foods and has basic land cycling. That's kind of nice. Dust shell crawlers. This makes a treasure token when it dies, which like would help with affinity stuff. Rift Sower makes mana, suspends. Elder gets lands. Elder is really strong. Honestly, like we've got some pretty decent green creatures here. And then yeah, this Glade Creeper. 2 +1/+1 counters for each color of mana spent to cast it. So you spend 3 colors on it. So yeah, if we played it in a 3-color deck, then it comes a 6/6 for 5. They can't be blocked by 2 or less. That actually seems pretty reasonable. So yeah, green does look like it had their. It could be a solid beatdown color if we can find a way to play it. Yeah, I have to keep like I have to like kind of lean down in order to have proper access to like this spot in the table where the camera's set up at. So I keep like getting back up to just make sure that if there's comments, I want to make sure I can respond to them. So let's see, Mind Collapse, Unholy Heat, Unholy Heat. We have 3 pretty reasonable removal spells in red. Flame Blitz is only really useful if you go up against Planeswalkers, but it's fine. The Lightning Spear, well, I guess the Lightning Spear is also kind of removal, too. So you can always sacrifice it if you need to. Faithless Salvaging, Spreading Insurrection, and Galvanic Relay. They're both like storm cards. I don't know how useful they're going to be though. Let's look at our creatures in red. Well, let's see. Arcbound Whelp is pretty decent. Right. Yeah, it's a 2/2 flyer that has fire breathing, so that's nice. Riftleaf Ants definitely wants to be played in a storm deck because it gets bigger and then deals damage based on its power if you can cast their spells. So. It says Delirium. Yeah, it pings all the 1/1s when it attacks if you have Delirium, so that's interesting. Not bad. Corel Shaman with Blow Ball Artifact. Yeah, we can just sink. Like, this card is really good at blowing up artifacts. Fortunately, though, like, the lands are it's indestructible, so like you can't nail those with this thing. We've got 2 of these. Just 2/2s that you can discard a card to give creatures haste until end of turn. Then what's this? Discard a card and deals X damage to the number of card types that the card has. Okay. So that like this can let us turn like something like this bridge, which is an artifact land, into a shot for free. Okay. Or like if you have like another enchantment creature, this would be 2 damage. Or you know, like an artifact creature. Alright, well, that's kind of cool. It's got some stuff going for it. Let's look at our white cards. We'll figure out how this is all gonna piece together. So first things first. Piercing Rays is nice. Exile a tap creature. We do have 2 of them, which is also good. There's a lot of white artifacts, so Rays are fine. Abiding Grace. We don't have a lot of 1-drops for this. I guess we have a couple. Like these Arcbound Mausers. So this would do something if I wanted to do it. It's giving yourself hexproof seems fine. This is a combat trick. And for 6 mana, put 2 +1/+1 counters on each of your creatures, or for just 1 mana, you put 1. Or no, on 2 creatures, okay. So for 6 mana, it adds 4 power. For 2 mana, it adds just 2 power, but it's still a reasonable trick. The only problem with white, so we have a lot of creatures in white. You have 2 of these guys. Lifelink and Modular. Which, with the Abiding Grace, would actually be pretty cool. You can keep, like, sacrificing, or yeah, every time they die, you can just, like, keep getting one back every turn and keep using its modular. Let's see. Whether another creature dies, this gets bigger. Well, that would be synergistic. This has Adapt 1. Whenever it gets countered, it gets double strike until end of turn. Flying and plus, alright, pretty good. And this is just modular too. Alright. White, yeah, we do have 5 we only have 6 creatures in white, but 5 of them are artifacts, so maybe that's something to consider. Alright, what's black look like here? Just got an apt ad for a Taco Bell product. Oh yeah, yeah. You know what? I should put this in here again. Where do I have this link at? So yeah, I have a survey on this, and yeah, that you're referencing here, but I will put it in the chat again. Why not? Yeah, I've gotten some really interesting results in that, and that's going to be its own entire video looking through them, because I think I've learned a lot about how people view the difference between what is and what's not a sandwich. It's crazy. Like, there's no one hard and fast rule, but there seem to be trends. And sometimes combination of trends are what makes or breaks the deal. That's removal. It's removal. Creature, creature, creature. Oh yeah, Archfiend of Sorrow seems awesome. Good old Kitchen Imp. We got some good stuff in black. One of the cool synergies here is we have Vile Entomber, which can find a creature to put into the graveyard, and then this Archfiend of Sorrows, which also has Unearth. So, and when it enters the battlefield, it gives all the opponent's creatures -2/-2. So, this can actually curve into this, and you go 4 mana into next turn 5 mana, unearth this, kill a bunch of your opponent's stuff. That's a really awesome synergy. I love it. So, I mean, if we're playing black, like, that would be actually really good. And these are Flying Haste with Madness. The Slowsome Curator. If you exploit something, you can destroy a creature you don't control with mana value 3 or less. So that's also removal. It's nice. Yeah, the Underworld Hermit makes things equal to your devotion to black. Which means it'll always make at least 2 tokens with itself. So you're getting like a 5 power of creatures for 6 mana at the worst case, but it can also scale up better too. Yeah, this thing has escape, which is nice, and when it escapes, it gets either a +1/+1 or a flying counter on it, so comes back. I know another cool thing to find with the Vile Entomber. And this Discerning Taste. Top 4, you put 1 in your hand and the rest in your graveyard. You gain life equal to the greatest power creatures from the graveyard, so kind of like card advantage, sort of. I don't know. Definitely black has, like, we've got some cards in, like, each one of these colors, so it's... Alright. Yeah, and then... We're not really pulled into any particular direction with these things. Because I don't have, like, a lot of shaman stuff that matters here. I don't know about this. Make sure this is here. The disc is just, like, you can blow everything up. I don't know if, like, necessarily I want to do that. Nettle Cystic rewards an artifact strategy. Let's see. Rhea enters the battlefield and makes a 1/1 Flying Thopter. And lets you sack an artifact to temporarily be able to play the top card, or give a creature +2/+0. It seems okay. Zothy Voidwalker is actually really powerful because it lets you play something really awesome if an opponent loses it. It is double black, so you have to be really committed to playing black. You see, like, kind of the opposite end of the spectrum. Sanctifier in back is double white, and it just is not going to allow black or red stuff to go to the graveyard at all. We don't have a lot of white creatures, but white does push us into artifact land, which would make this Nettle Cyst really good. Fortunately, we don't really have anything blue that takes advantage of the affinity for artifacts in this thing. These Mousers are not too bad, actually, because then we'd have at least 3 creatures with this Abiding Grace. And you know what? Playing black and white would actually be kind of cool, because then the Vile Entomber can put a 1-drop in the graveyard to keep bringing me back with this every turn. It's not bad. Gives me some artifacts if I want to play them. I don't know. Maybe. I'd have to probably play only 2 colors if I wanted to play, like, black-white. Yeah, this isn't going to help me play black-white, though. I have nothing in this pile. Batterbone's pretty good. It probably goes in whatever deck I'm playing. I don't know. We have 1 black-white artifact land, so maybe. I mean, I could just play, like, 1 or 2 that are just, like, off-color. Like, maybe I just play, like, you know, the 1 bridge, like, or the 1 black-red one and the 1 white-blue one. just for the single color, and then, you know, this one's fixing. If you enter tapped, that's kind of unfortunate. Green, black, or... That's a good question. What do I want to do with... Do I want to try to play green? Green actually had some pretty legit stuff going on for it, too. It had a lot of red. Internalize off, that's pretty cool. I think I'm leaning towards playing black white. I don't know if I want red or not. It's going to turn. How hard would it be to get delirium here? Would have some cards, but I don't know how likely it is they end up in the graveyard. I don't think I don't have a whole lot of discard stuff in this. No, actually, I have these two, which could help discard. Just don't know if I really want to be discarding things. Would give me some more removal. It's maybe. I mean, this. It was yeah, like we played red in here too. Then the bridge would help a little bit. But that's about it. Seems a little bit greedy though to play like 3 colors. We don't have a whole lot of mana fixing for it. I don't know. There's not like a lot of shamans that really pay off for this. I guess we get to play Gray's Apprentice, which is fine. It's not super amazing or anything. I think it's more about whether this Nettle Cyst will actually be useful or not. You know what? That's also part of the problem is we play black white. We pretty much can't play Sanctifier deck because we're not going to be able to put stuff in our graveyard, and we really want to be able to put black cards in our graveyard. That's frustrating because yeah, we have a fair bit of white stuff that I think we really want to play. Yeah, these would be really good, but we probably need a little bit more than just these. I like this Abiding Grace. It looks really strong. Sojourner's Companion having artifact land cycling is pretty awesome. Alright, well, let's start trying to look at what this deck might look like. Yeah, especially if we wanted to play red, we definitely couldn't play Sanctifier then, because again, we can't put the red stuff in our graveyard, so that would be a no-go. So, what does our deck look like with black-white? Some of these. All right. We got like 4 regular removal spells. And then I do like this Abiding Grace. Let me do this. This and put 2 creatures up here. Okay. Three things to turn back or bring back. That's kind of cool. Well, that would almost be our deck. I mean, that would kind of make it pretty clear cut like this. Give us 17 lands this way. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Probably 9, 10. Maybe we have a reasonable amount of artifacts to play. Do something like that. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 artifacts. Not bad. I think we could make that work. I could also play the Ornithopter Paradise if I really want to. Which actually, maybe I might, because I have some stuff that's higher on the curve. Is there anything I'd want to cut for it? I think the Vial and Tumor is actually reasonable. Probably should consider this. Probably these Kitchen Imps. They have Flying Haste with Madness, but I don't really have a lot of good ways to discard them. And maybe I'd do something like that. That seems reasonable. Yeah, the Nettle Cyst will get reasonably big. The Batterbone's kind of cool too. It's like a 2-drop that, becomes relevant later. I might be able to live with this. I don't know if I want to play Navendrel's Disc in this, but I think we might be alright. That's gonna destroy something. And what's also nice is you can actually sacrifice like the living weapon token for this and still do it. And then just equip, like, say, the Nettle Cyst later. Yeah, Archfiend is nice to search with Entomber, or Entomber can just search for one of these things and just get the loop with Abiding Grace on. Seems like it's probably fine. I don't know if I could make it much better than that. You know what? Can I? Oops. Go back. There we go. It's a little bit more lined up now. Yeah, that's about it. I can't make it much better than that. So, I guess this is what I'm looking at here. I think that's reasonable, and then just fill it out with some basic lands. That might be how I do this. I'm not sure that anything else is really going to make it too much better. I don't know if splashing another color is going to help that much. I don't think there's much in like the green colors that would be a good splash. I mean, that green is probably the only color that could be splashed in this deck, so yeah, if we tried to like jam red in here, I don't know realistically what we want to do with it. Like some of the cards are kind of neat, but I think we're gonna go with this as our black white deck. So yeah, this looks fine. Okay, that works for me. This is what I'm gonna play in my sealed league. Yeah, I'll just have to get some basic lands here, but do a quick count. So it's 2, 8, 9, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. So 9 to 15, so got 13 lands here. Okay. This one basically already counts as a white. This one counts as a black. This theoretically that's only gonna really count for a white. So really I should put this with this. This one actually will tap for either, so yeah, when we actually look at it, yeah, given a 15-9, it should probably be like what, 16? Probably like 9 black and 7 white is what I would go with. I'll hedge it like that. There's a lot more stuff that requires double black though. I don't know if I want to go 6 white. Like that's a little bit low. This thing also has land cycling, so that can help mana fix this. We have the Ornithopter of Paradise to help mana fix it a little bit. Yeah, probably nine black sources, or 7 white sources here. That ought to fix it. So. Yeah, I think that works. So, I'll have to get the basics out to finish that up, but yeah, I think that'll be fine. It'll be nice and color balanced. We have a pretty reasonable artifact theme. There's enough stuff there to make the Black Devotion card work. There's a few cool tricks to do with the Violent Tumor. We have some removal. The Entomber being able to tutor for like a mini Wrath would is actually pretty cool. Yeah, get tutor for a thing that gives all the opponent stuff -2/-2. Yeah, and the Nettle Cyst and the Batterbone together will be a pretty mean combination. You just stick those like on one creature, and it's going to get ridiculously big and gain you lots of life. So I think this works out pretty well. We have a couple sideboard cards then if we need them, but I think overall like this seems really strong to me. It should work. I think so. Yeah. Oh yeah, and you have the Abiding Grace combo where we have like the Arcbound. Yeah, this Arcbound Mauser where we have any artifact creature in play, we can just like bring this back to the battlefield every turn, like block with it, let it die, and then or at the end of like our turn, we get it back, and then modular counters keep building up other stuff. So there's that cool synergy with this thing. Or when this thing dies, this thing actually has some pretty cool synergy with like the Nettle Cyst, because the bigger this thing is when it dies, the more tokens you make off of it. And then with the Abiding Grace, it can still return this back to the battlefield at the end of turn. So, um, it's even like especially sacrificing it to the Bone Shards with when it has like Nettle Cyst or something on it, actually pretty awesome. It's pretty cool synergy. So, I mean, the worst case is Abiding Grace. If we don't have anything to return with it, it still gains us a life, so it's not useless. But yeah, there's some cool tricks to this deck. Alright, so that's all I've got for now. Well, so that'll be the deck that I'm going to play with this, but didn't open anything like too spicy. Yeah. Okay, I'll pan this down so we can see all the shiny rare cards. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so there we go. That's what we ended up with, and then of course we have this Void Walker here, which is actually this one's going in our deck for sure. So no Ragavan. Well, no, I don't know what to say. Oh, I can move this back over to where it belongs. Here, there we go. Yeah, unfortunately, like no Ragavan or anything like that. So what are you gonna do? You can't open like the really expensive stuff every time, but on the plus side, I think we have a pretty functional deck, and it has some cool and some fun tricks to it. So I'm looking forward to being able to play it. So, all right, that's all I've got with this. I'm gonna end this. So hopefully anybody watching had some fun checking this stuff out. Thanks for hanging out with me in the chat. I appreciate it. See how this goes. Next week I'm gonna be doing Drunken Peasants on Thursday night, and then I might be playing some Commander with Billy the Fridge afterwards, and so if that, because I don't know, so anybody who was following on Twitter this week may have seen that he and I have been arguing over the power of Soul Ring in Commander, and he threw the gauntlet after I told him that Soul Ring is ridiculous and doesn't belong in Commander, and I could prove it to him by just slaughtering him, um, showing him how much of an impact that it makes. Like if I start with Soul Ring and he doesn't, yeah, it just gives me an overwhelming advantage against him. So, like, and he's like, you know what? Let's put it to the test. So we're gonna try to figure out a time to schedule that. So maybe that might be after Drunken Peasants next Thursday. So it might be really late at night. He's on the West Coast and I'm on the East Coast, but depends upon whether we can make that time work or not. But eventually we will get something scheduled for. So there will be a Soul Ring challenge at some point coming. The gauntlet has been thrown, Papa. Yeah, those were his words, and I am gonna defend it. I believe in my heart that Soul Ring is not a card that belongs in Commander. It's one of the single most broken cards in the entire game, and is more powerful than some of the actual Power 9 cards. Like, Soul Ring is stronger than Time Twister. I will say that easily. Not even close. Definitely Soul Ring should be a Power 9 card over Time Twister. It's just ridiculous. Um, the only reason I guess is it's not a rare. But you know what? It doesn't matter. card is just stupidly busted. It's the yeah, and that also apply, like all of those arguments also apply to Mana Crypt and Mana Vault as well, because they're just equally dumb. In fact, some of them are actually worse because they just make like 2 mana, and there's no real drawback, and it costs 0 for them. Whereas at least Soul Ring costs 1 to make 2. Those cost 0 to make 2, which is just so much worse. Yeah, Soul Ring is often better than Moxen. Like, imagine in Commander, you just go like turn 1 Soul Ring, tap Soul Ring, and play like, or like a 2 mana rock, and then like next turn you untap, you're on 5 mana on turn 2, and like any deck that you're playing, that's insane. Like, how exactly is your opponent supposed to keep up with that? Like, you 5 mana on turn 2, that's nuts. And it only gets worse when you start adding in, like I said, the Mana Vault and the Mana Crypt on top of it. Just utterly ridiculous. I'm going to utterly destroy him, and I'm going to prove my point that Soul Ring is like stupidly busted and does not belong in the format. So I don't know what exactly the day is going to be that's going to happen. Like I said, I would like if we could do it after Drunken Peasants on Thursday, but it depends upon whether he's going to be around, and I don't know that yet because he might be going out afterwards. In any case, yeah, go check it out. Well, I'll be doing that next week. I think that's the 23rd. So, in the meantime, we'll probably be playing more Final Fantasy IV DS on here between then and now. And yeah, like I said, that's all I've got for now. So, thanks everyone for showing up. We'll be doing more stuff soon. So, take it easy. Appreciate you all for hanging out.